Hi, good afternoon. I'm here at New York Public Library with my friend Eden, and I'm here to ask him a couple questions about how the environment affects his neurodivergence. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Eden Arredondo. I was raised in New York, Harlem. I have autism and ADHD together, also OCD, but it falls under the neurodivergent term, umbrella. I have a lot of special interests, mostly media, literature, and history. Those are my favorite topics to talk about. I'm also very interested in science, like science history, like dinosaurs and stuff. Those things I can talk for hours about. Yeah.
So, my first question is when you're outside with friends or just a typical day out, how does the environment outside affect your sensory needs or your neurodivergence?
Mostly my social battery, the crowds, and also taking the train is a very sensory. How do you call it? It's very hard to take the train as a neurodivergent person because you have to have things to help you regulate how you feel in the train because it's so loud. There's people touching you. There's the train's loud all by itself, and then the fact that there's like so many people on the train itself is a lot. So I try to wear noise canceling headphones, and I try my best to keep myself away from people, but it's obviously hard on the train. I try to take the train only when it's like absolutely necessary.
My second question is how can someone help you out when you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed? What are also some ways that are unhelpful to deal with that overstimulation?
When I get a really bad sensory overload or anything like that, I try my best to do it independently. If I can't do that, that sucks because then I'm gonna be stuck like that all day. I mostly mask most of the time, but when it's too much, like for example, if I was spending a whole week out in the street, going on the train all the time, and being in the cold, eventually my battery's gonna run out, and then I'm gonna have a big explosion of like emotion and or sensory. I like to say sensory explosion because it's too much at once. Most of the time, I try to isolate myself from people. Obviously, I tell them what's going on, whatever, and then I separate myself from them either by making, I like to say, a sensory tent, where I just take a blanket, put it over the bed, and just stay there for a couple hours, so I can just regulate myself emotionally and like just comfort myself mostly. With
What are ways that are unhelpful to deal with that overstimulation?
well, for me personally, I don't like physical touch like, at all. It's not helpful. For other autistic people, it's different. They like physical touch. It like puts pressure on their bodies, so they can regulate their emotions more better. It's kind of like a weighted stuffy, if you will, or like weighted pillow. They like that kind of stuff. I don't personally, because it's too much pressure for me. And also like socially, it's too much pressure because you're asking someone to take care, quote unquote, which is not my prerogative, I guess. Yeah, it's just unhelpful for me, but every other way it's very helpful.
And what are some things you want people to know about autism? And also, what are some misunderstandings you want to debunk about autism?
I want to start with the misunderstanding because it's the easiest. Misunderstandings that everyone has. It's not a disease. People like to treat it like one. It's not. You don't get it from genes. You don't get it from having a kid. You don't get it from anything. It's basically how your brain is wired when you're born, or something happened and it's wired that way. Yeah, it's not this like crazy thing you get or you can't attract it. I mean, like get it like it's a viral disease or whatever. You basically just have to work around a disability, and almost most of us have a disability some kind. Either if it's glasses, hearing aid, anything like that, walking cane, back pain, any of that is all a disability. You're working around that by asking someone to help, it helps it sometimes. But if you're like independent like me, who mask, who is a person who doesn't need a lot of support, it's difficult. But eventually you'll get used to it because it's like a part of a routine of doing that. It's the way your brain's wired. There's some people who do it, who have it differently from others. It's very subjective. Like I said before, I have sensory issues, social cue issues, and emotional regulation issues. Most of these things can be helped with support, but I rather just do it independently. There are some people who need all that, and yeah.
So this was my interview with my friend Eden. I hope that I was able to give good insight into my personal essay and give more of a deeper look into how the environment can affect autistic people and neurodivergent people. Yeah, and thank you for listening.
Bring back uncrowded trains, bro. I'm sick of this.